Zoom has quietly built one of the tightest ecosystems in business communication. Meetings, phone, contact center, collaboration, revenue accelerator, package tracking, docs, email, work vivo. That list just keeps going on and on. And now they've woven AI directly into all of it. And the hits just keep on coming almost every week from Zoom, or so it seems. But really, is it all useful?
Technology.
Strategy.
The future of communications.
Analysis.
This is The Resource.
Welcome to The Resource. My name is Doug Bryant, CTO here at Communications Resources. And joining me as always is Billy Belcher, our Director of Solutions Engineering.
Good morning, Doug. How you doing? I feel like Zoom has gone from the meeting app to the productivity engine, and a lot faster than most people realize.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, they've done that without a rebranding campaign or even a marching band to announce it.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people just think Zoom equals video calls.
That's kind of like saying Apple still equals calculators.
Well, that's a very accurate analogy.
Yeah. Well, it's the best I could come up with. But so today, though, we are joined by a superstar, Tony Harris. He's a senior solutions engineer from Zoom. Tony, welcome to the show.
Well, thanks, Doug and Billy, a superstar. Yeah, I'll pay you later for that. Yeah, it's good to be seen. Always better to be seen than viewed. Glad to be here.
I hear that. Tony, Zoom has built a remarkably tight ecosystem, and it just keeps growing but stays tight. You got, of course, the meetings everybody knows about. You got phone, you've got team chat, collaboration, contact center, revenue accelerator, scheduler, docs. I mean, the list goes on and on. Work Vivo that handles so much work life, HR, and so many things, all embedded beautifully. CX, man, CX has come so far. And now AI is embedded throughout that entire stack. So today, that's what we're here for, is to focus on what's new and what Zoom is doing to actually change outcomes. So let's get right into it and let's talk about what's new in AI.
All right, Doug. We at Enterprise Connect, it felt like we needed a scorecard for all the AI announcements that came out.
Absolutely. I tell you, if you could have walked around with a bucket and gotten $1 for every new AI announcement, you probably could fund your own AI startup.
Or at least got a headset upgrade, right?
Yeah. Well, it is about priorities, Billy. I'm hearing you. All right. Okay. So, Tony, let's start here. What are the 3 AI features that Zoom has introduced as of this last month that business leaders should be paying attention to?
That is a great question. There are more than 3, but we'll definitely highlight 3 today.
Okay.
One is, and very interesting, we're really digging into the product suite of things, right? To make sure that every user of Zoom can do more than just meetings, right? Everyone knew us meetings from a while back. Everyone and their grandmother did bar mitzvahs, birthday parties, even weddings over Zoom, which we absolutely appreciate, right? But the fact that we do more now we do phone, we do contact center, all of those are great, but your average user who's using close to 7 to 10 different apps on their desktop always have to use different products and features from different companies to get their job done, right? And so the segue into that is we have a couple of things, or even a few things are top of mind this last month or so. So we've got sheets.zoom.ai, believe it or not, that's exactly what it is. It's Sheets, just like another company does Sheets. We
Yeah.
have slides.zoom .us, or I said .as, .us. And we also have docs, right? So those three productivity products and features allow people to stay inside of the Zoom ecosystem to get their job done, right? And the fact that it's all connected into one platform is amazing. And we'll talk about that a little later. But yeah, those three alone, I didn't even say AI in and of itself, right? AI.zoom.us, which is our AI companion 3.0. That has been a life changer. I mean, that's absolutely amazing. I know that's four, right? I know you just said three, but
And that's
Hey,
okay.
we'll take all we can get.
We'll take all we can
I
get.
added that for you.
And what's amazing, you said a key thing, it doesn't require an add-on.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's all under one platform. And here's the thing that most people will understand and realize. Since it's all connected, you don't have to go out to another app or feature just to use it, right? It's all using what you already have on board to actually help you do your job, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Wild.
That's pretty powerful. And of all of these, the things we just talked about, what are you seeing the customer adapt to the fastest?
Well, believe it or not, one of the biggest things that we have loved from day one is after the meeting's over, you get an AI summary.
Yeah.
Right? You don't have to do anything. You don't have to take notes. You don't have to do anything. The AI summary is there. And not only is it a summary of the conversation, but it gives you next steps. It gives you who says what, who's going to go out and make this happen and that happen. And then the biggest part of that, and it's something that my manager and I have actually talked about as well, is that all that data is there to be used, right? It's all there, no matter whether you want to use it to make slides, right? To go into docs or to go into sheets. That information is all there from the same conversation. You don't have to go anywhere else. It's there. You've already spoken the word. It's already there available to use.
You know what's amazing to me, Tony, about that, and this is more of a statement than a question, but for myself, we used to always say as old phone guys, people think that dial tone is just an expectation.
Mm.
I've gotten so used to getting those summaries and next steps, it's become strangely an expectation
Right.
that when I'm in my Zoom meeting, I'm going to have that.
Right.
Right. And the great thing about those summaries, then you can have them formatted in whichever way you want them, right?
That's right.
Exactly. It's up to you, right? Do you want it to turn into slides? Do you want to turn into even a website, right? You can even have stuff turned into a website, which is phenomenal. Now, I'm going to add, I think, so we talked about the after meeting information. Here's the great thing about the in meeting conversation is that we have my notes today, and my notes can be taken with you, whether you're doing a live conversation with someone or you're going to
Anywhere you go, right?
Zoom meeting, Teams meeting. It doesn't matter. My notes is there to help you capture that data immediately.
Right. Right. That's pretty powerful. Pretty powerful. Well, let me ask you a uncomfortable question here.
Mm-hmm.
Are companies at risk for turning on AI features faster than they're ready to implement them?
We've seen that movie before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what it's called, don't you?
I'll tell you what it's called. It's called the feature that ate my budget. Now what do I do?
Here's the great thing about Zoom today. AI Companion doesn't really take a budget because it's included, right?
Mm.
It's free for those who are like me who love that word. I love free. The fact that AI companion is already there, it's not just for the C-suite to use. It's not just for special people to use. It's for everyone in your company to use AI to help them do their job faster, quicker, and without much effort. So the fact that we provide it for no additional cost, there's no budget involved, right? There's nothing to even worry about. And now you've got everyone who can use AI to get their jobs done faster. It's a God, should I say no brainer? I don't know if I should say that on this call, but it's a no brainer, right? You already have it. It's included with the paid license. Might as well use it.
Yeah. I love how Zoom's approach uses, and it actually, though everyone has the AI, it encourages discipline in implementation and usage. It is right there. It creates a pattern in your day.
Yeah.
It makes your work easier by being right there. And that is where the strength for me in Zoom's ecosystem is right there in the cohesion,
Mhm.
because that cohesion happens there. And now what we can do is we can talk about it here and go talk to our partner customers. When we work together,
Mhm.
then we can help our partner customers to help their leaders align it to outcomes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So, um, OCR, man, that's been around for a long time with those initials, but I don't think we're talking about the same thing. So, Billy, when you hear OCR, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Think about that scanner from back in the day that sits over in the corner. It sounds like it's filling out some sort of complaint form that's about to bounce off the table
Yeah, and then it's printing something crooked.
every time.
Well, thankfully, that's not the version of OCR we're talking about. Tony, what's OCR and why should we care about that?
Great question. So for many of the folks who have been with Zoom for a while, we had AI Companion 2.0, right?
Yeah.
And AI Companion 2.0 was a great feature to use. It sat inside of the client beside your chat and whatnot, and you can use it. But we just upgraded to 3.0 just recently. And one of the main features that made that upgrade so powerful was optical character recognition, OCR for short, right?
Okay.
As we know, OCR has been around early 1900s, right? Because it was used in fax machines, it was used
Yeah.
a lot for a lot of different things. But what made OCR pop in our AI Companion 3.0 is that now we're using it. And now you can literally upload an image to our AI Companion and then tell AI Companion, hey, look at this image and then create something for me. I
Wow.
mean, that's amazing, right?
That is
You don't have
amazing.
to write it out. You don't have to tell it anything. You could just say, hey, look at this image and you tell me what you see in the image. Believe it or not, and this is a funny anecdote, I actually play a popular online game every single morning on my phone. And I couldn't figure out, I mean, it did eventually, but I couldn't figure out what the answer was. And I went, hey, I wonder if our OCR will recognize what's inside of this image or this picture. So I took a snapshot of it from my cell phone, uploaded it, put it in AIC 3.0, and said, you know what, figure this out. Literally, that's all I said was figure it out. It thought for a second. It came back with, oh, you're playing this game. And it actually accurately said the game that I was playing. Oh, and you're trying to make sure that these things fit in these four categories. I was like, oh, okay. It's not just looking at it, it's actually thinking and put some thought to it.
Yeah.
Uh, by the way, it only got it 70% right, but it kind of pushed me in the direction of where to go. And it gave me a lot of information. So it not only looked at it, recognized it, but actually put some thought into what the next step was based on that image alone. So I love the fact that we have it. people should use it more. We've got a couple of other anecdotes, but I could go on and on about OCR. I can geek out on that for a while, but the fact that we have it and are using it, I think is pretty powerful.
I think it is powerful. Let's talk about it just a minute, though.
Hmm.
I can see some use cases for it. It wasn't long ago I was given a directory as a part of what we do to support the sales efforts for our company. I was given a printed directory.
Hmm.
So I'm thinking instead of trying to transcribe all that information, trying to, scan it in somehow and extract that information, I probably could have just taken my cell phone, taken pictures of the pages I wanted to extract all the information in the directory of all these different entities that we were interested in approaching to talk to about the types of things we're talking about here.
Hmm.
And it would have not only pulled it out, it could have expounded on that information. Is that an application?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Um,
We have CRM, customer relationship management software. Everyone kind of knows about it.
yes.
Interesting enough, I've actually done that with some of our CRM records. I've
Wow.
actually downloaded the records, blown it up, taken a picture of it, right? And then put that into AI and said, here, deal with that. It was phenomenal, right? No, in no way was I going to type and look at that information that was
No,
going to take me 30 minutes at the very least, just to understand what I was looking at. But it
exactly.
not only looked at it, it analyzed it and put it in its right components and areas. It was, yeah, quickly within seconds.
Hey,
That's very
there's nothing more frustrating than getting a scanned document in a PDF form and you can't highlight the stuff and use it. And you're like, man, I'm gonna have to type all this in again.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
I was going to ask you a question, Tony, about, how does this help and what does this unlock? But, thinking about it aloud for myself, I mean, time savings right there. How much
Ooh.
time do you save? And, how much data can you capture? Just expound on that a little bit.
Yeah. So in my last example, right? So if you just take the CRM record that had, I don't know, maybe 600 lines,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
Really? Tony going through 600 lines? No, that's just not going to happen. Not in a day's time. Right? It may take me, a couple of days just to make sure that I not only get it, but get it right. Right? I could see stuff, but maybe because of, as you know, automating something, it's going to look at it and it's going to be fine. But me as a human being, sometime I may get Billy Belcher's name wrong. I may put an AR instead of ER.
Sure.
Whereas AI will look at all that information, all 600 pages, and get it right the first time. So one, it only took seconds to do it in the first time. And second, there's no reiterations or edits from me messing it up or getting it incorrect, right? AI pretty much does all that one pass, 5 minutes max as opposed to 6 hours, right?
I got two
That in
words
and
for
of
that, right?
itself,
Two words: increase productivity.
correct,
Increased
correct.
productivity.
Yeah,
And it brings it down to the layer, to the level of the person who needs to execute that. They didn't have to get in touch with IT. Nobody had to write an interface, bring in an API. Nobody had to figure out how to convert all that to a CSV, and they certainly didn't have to type it in.
right.
They were able to take that from one piece of software on a printed piece of paper, bring it in as a scan, read it, and go.
Yeah,
And gosh, there are a number of people that I know that are not technically inclined. That is an easy new skill for them.
yeah.
Wow,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's great. So, I think that what's so compelling about Zoom is that, something like OCR, as you've talked about, it doesn't live out in isolation. It's feeding on the AI models that you already have.
Yeah.
It helps drive more summaries. It's going to help drive more automation, more agentic AI. It's adding to the knowledge base that Zoom AI can use. and it's going to increase the levels and speed to collaboration. That's the power of this tightly integrated ecosystem.
Yeah, it's so powerful. Let's talk about my notes and slide creation. Doug, how many times have you heard, can I turn this into slides? 2 minutes after a meeting.
Yeah, that's usually from the person who volunteered the least during the meeting.
And somehow they always want it, before a deadline.
Yeah, 5 minutes before, exactly. Um, but if AI can solve that problem alone, I believe the productivity is the winner.
Oh,
I think you're
absolutely.
correct. Correct. Tony, so let's talk about something very practical. How can someone use my notes to create a PowerPoint type slide?
Very easily. So I know that was a quick answer, right? But bottom line, bottom line is, let's say you go on we're in a meeting with someone on a Teams call or Zoom call or whatever. It doesn't matter. Because my notes is available immediately and automatically, one, you don't have to worry about taking notes. Now you can add a few notes, by the way. You can actually input some notes on your own to go along with the transcript that's happening. But the great thing is, literally right after that meeting is over, you can go to Docs, you can go to Whiteboard. We've not really talked about Whiteboard here, but Whiteboard actually has that same functionality that you can actually choose a meeting and turn that meeting, all of the written word, into a slide presentation, right? So you could do that from slides. You could do that from, here's the great thing. The way to do that on all of our products is the same. Right? You don't have to relearn anything. It's all the same UI. It's the
Mm-hmm.
same way. If you do it in Docs, it's the same way you're going to do it in Slides. It's the same way you're going to do it in Whiteboard. You literally just go to My Notes. You find the actual meeting, right, that says My Notes, differentiates it, and then boom, you say turn this into a presentation, right? And it's done. Now, here's a bonus. That's something that's already there. You're not talking about creating something out of thin air. You had the conversation. You've got the data, right? Turned into something that you can present almost immediately. And then you can go a little step further and turn that doc into a web page, right? That's something that we just brought out just recently called Polish View.
Mm-hmm.
And that allows you to actually go another step at making the presentation more attractive, right, for people to look at it. But there's certain ways you can format it that makes it even look, even better. And then you can publish that as a website, right?
Wow.
So
Wow.
so the fact that you don't have to have any skills as a web designer, which I don't, by the way, you just let AI do all of that for you, right? And that happens literally within minutes.
I can well let me frame this way. Instead of making a statement, we have a lot of CIOs, CTOs that are interested in picking up a lot of information from the podcast we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And their job primarily is to create an environment of systems, software, and an ecosystem of their own that impacts productivity, that complements the vision that the executive team has. And I'll tell you some of the folks in the executive teams, some of the stakeholders that are really, I think, could possibly benefit from this. And here's the question. How can CMOs and their marketing teams, how could this help them? What are you seeing?
It's almost as if we've said it over already, right? It helps them. What'd you say, Billy? Improve productivity? What was that?
Absolutely.
Or enhance?
Increase productivity.
Increase productivity. We'll use Billy's words, right? Because that is exactly what happens. But you're not only increasing productivity for the sake of increasing it, you're also increasing and giving them more time back that they can now do other high value and high touch things, right?
Yeah.
So instead of taking 4 hours to do something, you took 10 minutes to do it, right? And now you can even go to lunch, right? How many people are not going to lunch
Not going
because
to
they
lunch.
literally have
Yeah.
to work through lunch to get things done? Now they can actually get their lunch break back. We actually had something the other day. It was kind of funny online saying, "Hey, we're going to take back lunch." Right? It was such a right. It was such a big thing about taking lunch back, but that's serious, right? Because that helps with work-life balance. It helps people not get burnt out on their jobs, right? And the fact that you can do something in minutes, take back lunch is pretty huge, right? And oh, by the way, you could then present it to teams that are used to a professional looking presentation, right? Without having to slave over it until in 10, 11, 12 at night, right? You can
Yeah.
actually have something that AI has helped you with, and it done it much quicker. Now you can spend more time with your family. Hey, there's a soccer game this weekend. You're not spent instead of going to the soccer game, you're at home working on something. You don't have to do that, right? You've
Yeah.
you've reclaimed a bunch of time back, that has helped you do your job quicker and more efficiently.
That's
Right. There's
fun.
only so much time in a day, right? So any time you can reclaim is priceless. And you keep answering my questions before I ask them. I was going to say something. Hey, this takes away from the post meeting scramble, right? But you've already
Right.
answered that question.
Sorry about that.
Uh,
I didn't mean
no,
I didn't mean to steal your thunder.
oh, but no. I mean, it all goes together, right? Because this,
Right.
it's not just part of the platform. It's in the meetings. It's in chat. It's the Zoom phone. It's everywhere, right?
Right.
It's I think it's revolutionary in the thought processing and the way it actually flows throughout the entire ecosystem.
Exactly.
I think it increases the level of marketing movement based on what you're saying. Uh, you're in a creative meeting. It's happening before your eyes. You're able to expound on that in your own creativity, and then you get it into a structured output. And before long, that concept is a reality, and it's happening a lot faster. And that's really what I see here. If you're just joining us, we're talking to Tony Harris from Zoom, and we're talking about how Zoom's ecosystem has become so powerful. It's far beyond meetings. It's far beyond video. It's far beyond even the phenomenal Zoom phone. It's creating structured output, content, content collaboration. And here's the thing, it becomes cyclical. It takes away the friction and the fragmentation that we have from the meeting room to delivery. So let's do a little practical wrap up here. Tony, for leaders who are evaluating AI inside their communication stack,
Mhm.
what do you think they should focus on first?
I think you put it in a nutshell, right? So the content that they're already creating every single day, all the meetings that are happening, um, that all of that content can become collaboration. It could become part of one large conversation where nothing gets lost. Billy said it best, right? That post meeting scramble goes away, right? You have all of that information. You don't have to worry about where is this information? Where did we have this? No. You already have it. You already had the conversation. And the fact that it's in this case free, you can use it immediately, right? You could
Mhm.
use it today. You don't have to wait
Mhm.
on, well, do we need an AI strategy to get this done? No, the strategy is you need to use the data and the content that you have already created, right?
Okay.
And since you already have that content, let's just go ahead and start using it today and using my notes and docs and slides and AI companion. It's all there already, right? You
Yeah.
can now bring all of that content together and like my manager likes to say, right? We go from conversation to completion in no time, right?
Wow.
Like that right there.
Yeah.
That's good. That is so good.
So I think, my biggest takeaway from today, Zoom is an ecosystem. It doesn't live on an island. It's embedded everywhere. And what do you say, Tony? It's free? I mean, let's make sure we get
There we
that
go.
out there, right?
My favorite word. Yes.
Yeah, free.
The AI is free. Zoom's not free.
Oh, that is true. Zoom is not free. AI is free with Zoom. It's spread across meetings, phone, contact center. We just talked about docs, sheets, all that stuff. So the strength isn't just the feature; it's the continuity. For an organization that's evaluating, this is where the analysis matters, right? Tony, just give us your final thoughts before we close.
I guess we've said it, right? The final thoughts really is you've got the data. Now you have a way to use it using Zoom, right? You have a way to use that data, turn that content into collaboration. You want all of the conversations that you've been having anyway. Now, you want all of it now to be useful, right? You want it to go from content to completion. Now you can complete it. And oh, by the way, we've not really mentioned it here on this call as much. We've kind of hinted at it, but the fact that we're using AI, we've been so used to using generative AI, which is great. We all love it. But now Zoom is getting into the area of agentic AI. And what is agentic AI? What does that mean? Well, the great thing is because you want to take the conversation to completion, you now have the ability to use AI agents, agentic, right? These agents can now help you do things without you having to ask it or direct it, right?
Wow.
Like having a sidekick, right? Or an assistant. So the great thing about Zoom is not only what we have today, but our whole journey really is towards agentic AI, so that the agents can do a lot more for you than what you've done. And all of this from a conversation. Still, we're talking that conversation to completion is going to include agentic AI. So definitely continue to look out for everything that we're doing there.
Tony, that's real exciting, and I want to invite you to join us again. We'd love to hear more about agentic AI if you would be available to
Absolutely
talk to us about what Zoom is doing there in the near future. Then we'll have Tony on.
Yeah,
absolutely. And why wouldn't Tony want to talk to us? I mean, everyone wants to talk to us.
Right. Yeah, I'd be happy to talk to you.
All right. So if you're considering Zoom, if you're out there in the business world and you're considering Zoom for all its capabilities and you want a practical workflow evaluation, that's exactly where CRI steps in. Communications resources can come in, help you determine what fits, what integrates, what will actually improve outcomes for your environment. Go to gocri.com or email us at support.gocri.com. We'll get an engineer to get in touch with you, not a salesperson, an engineer that will walk through your business flows, your use cases, your points of frictions. We'll do an analysis, we'll set some goals, and we'll do what's best for your business. Not what's best for us, not what's best for Zoom, what's best for your business to make sure you get the most productive outcome.
That's awesome. And that's us. That's our job.
Absolutely.
Tony, thank you for your invaluable resource information today, the wisdom you share and how and where it makes the most sense to start and implement it. And we're looking forward to many more installments with you and the Zoom team. And thank you to our listeners. You have been listening to The Resource, a podcast of communications resources. So once again, if you like what you heard, go ahead and like and follow and subscribe, and you'll be updated every time a new podcast, a new resource is available for you. And remember, Communications Resources is your partner